Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings. So I'm really quickly, I just want to touch on something that if you just watched my my weekly reading that I was sort of alluding to, and I don't think I'm really going to be able to go into this quite as depth as I'd like, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I really wanted to be outside because, as you can see, it's really nice out. So I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing it with my clients. I'm seeing it in the collective. I'm seeing it in twin flame groups. People want to know what you need to do to come together with your twin. And I get that, because we all have, a draw. You feel the pull to want to be with your twin. But we have to stop focusing so much on what is outside of us to bring us happiness. And it's not something that is going to come to you overnight. I mean, I think maybe for some people, you can just, you kind of hit an epiphany and you can make a quick change. But, I think for a lot of people, it does take time to change your mindset and refocus your thinking. But so many twins, and I'm mostly talking to the feminine, but I do think that this affects the masculine. They're just not communicating that as openly. There is such a fixation on their counterpart. They're, to the point of it being unhealthy, where they're losing themselves in their desire to come together in union with their twin. And, I wish I could remember the quote that I saw recently on Instagram, but I saw a quote that said something to the effect of, that she, when she lost herself in finding him, she lost everything and she was broken. And I feel like that is so true of what I'm seeing happen for a lot of people. So what do you do about that? I'm seeing shifts for people, for feminine twins, when they are able to change their focus, and when they are able to finally look at the situation and approach it from a mindset that they are going to focus on themselves. They choose themselves. And it's not about, they're not giving up on their twin. They aren't letting their, they're maybe letting their twin be or letting them go for a little bit, but it's not about not having any love for their twin. It's not that at all. What it is having unconditional love for yourself first, and being whole with yourself first. Because until you get to that point, you are never, ever going to be able to come into the kind of union and relationship that you want to be in with your twin. And what I'm seeing is that when feminine twins are able to genuinely focus on themselves and the things that bring them happiness, bring them joy, when they're truly focusing on the things that bring them passion and that drive them, when they focus on their own dreams and the things that keep them busy, they and they truly find their own happiness when they have a drive to be happy in their own life, no matter what the external looks like. When they are the source of their own happiness, they come into a place where, they're like, if my twin if we're not together, we're not together. They're too busy enjoying the life that they have to wallow and be depressed about what it is that they don't have. And so then, and that's not to say that you're not human, you don't have moments that you don't miss them or something like that. But it's the difference between focusing on yourself and your joy and your happiness and living your life for you versus doing those things to get to union. If you do it only to get to union, it's not going to work. You have to do it for you, and that's it. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the more that you are wallowing, the more that you are in a place of a low vibration. And this is whether you are in separation or whether you are in communication, whatever point you're at. The lower your vibration, the more difficult it's going to be for you to come together. When you are in a lower vibration, you are repelling your twin. You are not in balance. You need to do things and work on being in a place where you are raising your vibration, because that attracts your twin to you. And, there's a reason that twin flame teachers and healers and readers say that over and over again, because that's true. It's true. We see it. I am seeing it over and over again with my own clients, and within twin flame groups. I'm seeing it with other teachers, that when you raise your vibration, that is what is going to bring your twin to you. Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings. I just wanted to come back. So this is going to be merged with the video that I was making yesterday, so I'm apologizing for the choppiness of this. I was interrupted as I was trying to tie up the video yesterday, and there were still a couple more things that I wanted to add. So I figured that I would just come back and put them together, and that way I could kind of make all of the points that I wanted to make. I could have done like a part 1 and a part 2, but I really had to kind of turn off the recording abruptly because we have people come over, and I didn't really want to do that. So, and I realized that this might be like not the full screen recording. Some people don't like that, but I'm outside and I don't want to bring my tripod out here, and so this is the way I have my iPad standing up to do the video. So this is what I got right now. So when I left off on the video, I was talking about trying to be in a place of a higher vibration, because when you're in a higher vibration, I don't want it to come across like once you're in a high vibration you automatically attract your twin to you. It's more like you are more you draw your twin to you that way, because when you're in a lower vibration, that type of energy is repelling, and you repel your twin when you are communicating from a lower vibration. And so what do I mean by that? So a lot of times the feminine and the masculine, you're not on the same page, and maybe you're in a place where the masculine twin is a lot of silence or one word answers, or just kind of some typical behavior. And a lot of times that will trigger the feminine for whatever her typical issues are. A lot of times it's abandonment, fear of men or males, or hurting her, or not being able to trust males, or if it's same-sex couples, not being able to trust in intimate relationships, and so they'll go into this place of where their triggers are coming up, and they start communicating from that place, and that is not going to help your situation, because when you start communicating from that place, what do you usually do? And again, I'm talking to the feminine. What you usually may write really long emails, or leave a lot of voice messages, send pages and pages of text messages or Facebook messages, or whatever medium that you communicate through. And oftentimes it's not that, I'm sorry, there's a bug right there. Not that I mind bugs that much, I just didn't want it to land right on my face. And it's important to be authentic about who you are and what your feelings are, but when you're coming at it from a place from where you're being triggered, and when you're in this lower vibration, it's not going to get you the result that you're looking for, because a lot of times, you're carrying tones of sadness and depression and anger and resentment and desperation, and obsession, and all of these things they repel your twin. And it's not about your twin not liking you, not loving you, not wanting anything to do with you. It's just literally that energy is repelling them. It's pushing them away. And you are your twin is you. And so if you are in this vibration, they are likely in a similar vibration, and they are likely to respond with some sort of similar type of communication of that same level. So, more silence, or more one-word answers, or a fight, not being sensitive to what your needs are. So, I have seen with clients, I'm looking at my notes if you're wondering what I'm looking at. I have seen with clients, I've seen with other people who are not my clients that I've seen this work with, to change your approach. And my guides actually gave me advice along these lines as well, of changing your approach. And it's going to look different for everybody. So advice that individuals got is not really applicable here, but take a look at how you are communicating with your twin. Are you sending a bazillion messages every day that are just sad and lonely and desperate and longing? Because if you are, or is that the tone that all of your messages are sent from? Is that the place that your messages are sent from? Because if it is, think about how overwhelming that can be for your twin. especially if they're in a place where they're trying to figure themselves out and figure things out. That is just, it's overwhelming for them. Try a different approach, just simple, friendly, happy. Hey, thinking about you. I hope you have a nice day. Oh, here's a picture of a rainbow. It made me think of you. I don't know. Whatever is your dynamic, it's going to be different for people. So it's hard for me to give examples, but people know what kind of works for them and what makes them tick. But you have to keep it light, higher vibration, and not nag on them. Hey, why didn't you return that email? Why didn't you return that text message? Don't do that. Just stay in the place of like, hey, it's nice, just thinking of you. And when they are replying back, it's so nice to talk to you. Especially when that they are going through a lot, they're really busy, acknowledge, like, I'm so happy you took the time to talk to me. Like, reinforce what they're doing. And I know some people may disagree with me on that because they feel like, well, if he loves me, he should do X, Y, Z. No, this is the lesson that many of us are being taught. We're here to learn, and we're here to teach others. And I think that this is so much of the problem. And I feel like, I kind of had an epiphany last night, and I couldn't wait to make this, finish up this video. We all have, in some way, shape, or form, been affected, whether we've done it or been on the receiving end of it or seen it. We've been affected by expectations being placed on love. And love is something where expectations should never be a part of it, ever. We are looking for, to be in a place of unconditional love. And that's part of what this twin flame journey is about, is having this unconditional love. You can't put expectations on somebody and say, well, if they loved me, they would respond to my text message. It takes 2 minutes. Yeah, like that kind of would maybe apply in our regular, like, society, regular relationships. Like, we would say something like that, but we're here to change that. We're here to change how humanity is looking at love and viewing love. Like, we're here to change our world. We're here to change how we view relationships. And as I was thinking about this, I wonder how many of our, like, inner core wounds, are, the child wounds and things like that, are stemming from times when there have been expectations placed on love in our lives. Because I was thinking about, I was trying to think of examples to give of where we might have unconditional love for people in our lives where we don't have any expectations of them. And I'm like, that's kind of hard. Because for those of us who have children, I was thinking of my children. And I'd say I love my children fairly unconditionally. But then I'm like, there are people that place condition on child-parent love. There are children who do that. There are parents that do that. I feel like I love my grandparents unconditionally. Like, I feel like they can kind of do no wrong in my eyes, and I have no expectations of them. But I'm sure that there are people who have some sort of dynamic with their grandparents or other family members that there's expectations, and you would never really like think about it, not like right on the surface, but think for a minute, maybe when you were a kid or maybe when you were older and you had a significant other, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, friends. I see this happen a lot with friends. Where have expectations been placed on you in the name of love, or in a place where it should just be love and there should just be nothing but unconditional love and understanding? I bet you can think of places, and I'm going to give some examples because I really do think that this is something that happens all the time, and I really feel like we are here to move beyond that. But how many people have a family member that would hold a grudge against you if you were a day late with a birthday present, or if you didn't spend a certain amount of money on a present for them? How many of you have a friend or a family member that, like for those of you who have little kids, or even just any children, I feel like a lot of you might be in this situation if you've had children, especially when your children were young. Because I know that this happened to me, and this has happened to my other friends. People turned their backs on you and got mad at you because you were very wrapped up in caring for your young children and kind of dealing with all the things that come along with being a new mom and a young mom and having children that are very close in age to each other. That's an example of, well, if why are you putting expectations on this friendship? Like, just love me where I'm at right now. This is just a phase in my life. Parents who might say to their kids, well, if you loved us, you wouldn't behave that way. Or kids who might say to their parents, well, if you love me, you would buy that. Spouses, well, you wouldn't say that if you loved me. You would respond to my text if you loved me. You would buy me that really big engagement ring if you truly loved me as much as you say you do. Things like that. Those are expectations. And I don't think we realize that they have a very damaging effect on people and their perspective on love and what love really is. Love is not a returned text message. It's not a returned email. It's not those things. Love is so much more than that. And so I think that we have to be so aware of the expectations that we are placing on, not just our twins, but other people in our lives. And I think that that's part of why it's so important for us to really focus on ourselves and loving ourselves first and being in a place where we can love all people unconditionally. That's going to put us in the place that we need to be, being at the right vibration, where we are not sending out an energy that is repelling our twin. And I want to make sure that I'm saying nobody is doing this purposely. I want to make sure that I acknowledge, we don't realize that we do that when we're doing that. And that's part of why I want to make this video. A lot of feminine energies, I know that you're reaching out and you think that you're communicating from the depths of your soul and your heart and just pouring your heart out and saying, why does he not get it? But it's not coming from the right vibration. When these things are happened, it's coming from a place where you've been triggered and wounded and hurt, and it's coming from that place. When you can send a heartfelt message or have a heartfelt conversation with no expectation of a response and truly be fine with it if they don't respond, that's when you do it. And it's, you know that you're in the right vibration for communication. And, and so when you be aware of your feelings and what's going on with you, if you are in a place where you know that you're like really cranky and something is going to maybe set you off, maybe just kind of lay low that day. If you're in communication with your twin, or feel like reaching out, maybe don't. And not because of them, like it has nothing to do with them, but because you know that you might easily be triggered and lash out. And you're just giving yourself a little bit of breathing room. Or if you're having a conversation and you do get triggered, you do kind of get a little funky, just to step away for a little bit and work through it. It's not, you don't have to react every time you're triggered. Like start working through those things, but it's okay to take a step back and learn how to work through things. And then at some point you can, if you're not there, say, hey, when we were having this conversation, I was triggered a little bit, or whatever word would work for your communication. I was triggered a little bit, and I just needed a second to work through it because it's my issue. It has nothing to do with you, because it usually has nothing to do with your twin. So that, it's going to help your communication so much more. But, just making sure that when you are coming together to communicate, that you're coming at it from a positive place, that you are in a good mindset. That's going to set the tone for better communications and drawing you to each other. And one other thing that I wanted to mention in terms of placing expectations on love, for those of you who are in communication of some sort with your twin, I want you to, especially if you're really frustrated with them or there's a lot of discord, take a look at your communication and the relationship the way it is, and see if you can list out the ways that your twin shows you that he cares about you and that he loves you, even if maybe he doesn't come out and say that. And it might be tough for some of you, especially if you are in a place where you're kind of placing some expectations on the relationship. Oh, well, he should text good morning to me. He should text good night to me, or he should do this, or he should do that. It might be a little challenging for you, but like some things to think about. For example, if your twin is in a really difficult situation where communication is not easy for them, maybe they don't have privacy or freedom to reach out. The fact that they're reaching out and making the effort, that shows that they care. If they, say it's somebody who's in a relationship with a karmic partner, and they could blow a lot of things up for them if they were caught communicating with you and they reach out to you, that shows you that they care, that they love you, because they are risking quite a bit if they, and they may be scared about that, but they reach out to you anyways. Even if some of you say, oh, I only hear from them every 2 weeks or something like that. Well, hey, like at least they're taking that step. Like, hey, I want to reach out to you and connect, even though this is, I could cause a lot more issues for myself. That's a way that they show you they care. If you know that they, if they are texting you or communicating with you while they're at work, and they're really busy at work, yet they're also taking the time to communicate with you. They care. They care. Just because they're not opening up to you the way that you want them to or expect them to, say the things that you are wanting to hear and things like that, it doesn't mean that they don't care. It just, they got to do things in their own way. And sorry, this video just got interrupted again because I got a phone call. So the more open that you can be to how your twin is expressing that they care about you and love you, the better things will be, and the more you can move into that higher vibration. So I'm going to end this video for now because Lord knows how many more interruptions I'm going to have. And I want to make sure that this video isn't too choppy for you. I hope that this was helpful for you. I know that some of this, people might not be ready to hear it. But I hope that you at least give it a shot, because I've seen some remarkable changes for people that are working to do this. So I hope that you guys have a great week. The weekly video is up if you haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of growth going on for both the masculine and the feminine this week. If you want a reading with me, my website is indigowingshealing.com. You can find me on Facebook. My contact information is also on my website. I'm going to go enjoy this beautiful day. I hope you guys have a great day too. I will talk to you soon.